So, as some of you may know, the iPhone 11 is by far one of my most favorite iPhones of all time, but it's also one of the best iPhones, Apple's ever made. And I completely think that if you're in the market right now, if you want to buy like a good cheap priced phone, it's not a bad option, and I'd probably recommend you to go and pick it up if you really want to. But if you have an iPhone 11 right now, the most important thing you can do as of this point is two pieces of advice, because there's a very high likelihood this particular iPhone is going to end up getting iOS, 18. There's a very high likelihood of that. Every single year, Apple goes through and supports more phones and supports more features in the future. And like I said, there's a very, very high likelihood this particular iPhone is going to end up getting that particular feature set. So the very first thing I'd recommend doing for every single person out there is just to understand that one, your particular iPhone could end up getting iOS 18. And a big thing I'd recommend doing here is avoiding to install iOS 18. There is no bigger, set of advice I can give the average person, rather than telling you that if you're planning on installing iOS 18 on your particular iPhone the first day it comes out in terms of a beta, I would not recommend doing that. But even when it officially comes out in its official form in September, I also would not recommend installing that particular, software version on that phone either. There are 20,000 other things I'd recommend doing before I would recommend doing that. And the main reason for that, at least from a beta standpoint, is because betas are buggy, and on an older iPhone like an iPhone 11, it doesn't make any sense doing it. So for number one, I would not recommend doing that. But for those of you who do plan on doing it for some reason, or if you're thinking kind of about doing it, you're doing more research about it, regardless of it, the biggest thing I'd recommend doing on top of that is to just make sure that you have some sort of backup installed on your device, or you've done a backup onto some other third-party device, like either like an Windows PC, a Mac, any other device you can do, including, you can download Google Photos or some other, get an iCloud membership and back up all your photos and videos on those particular devices. The main reason for this, as I mentioned before, is because just in case you do plan on installing a beta, you can at least guarantee yourself that some of your data has been backed up. And if you do plan on going through that, I would recommend just making a backup of all your data. And it's one of the most important things I'd recommend doing as well. So, like I said, it's really good news that these particular iPhones are going to end up getting these types of features, and I'm really excited about it. But there's a very high likelihood that if you end up doing something like that, it could end up breaking your device, and I would hate for you to go through that. I'd recommend, especially on these older iPhones, especially the iPhone 11, which could be the oldest one supported on iOS 18, just back up your software, and it's one of the most important things you can, that I'd recommend doing. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.